to Budget with Nessa. If you're new here, my name is Nessa. I'm a zero balance based budgeter and a single mother on a low income. So today we are going to be stuffing. So this is how I got this money. So New York State the governor decided to give all of the healthcare workers, I believe it was only healthcare workers, a certain amount of money in like a 2-year period. You would have had to work a certain amount of hours in order to qualify. Obviously that money gets taxed. I ended up getting $800 after taxes. So I'm eligible for, I think, 2 more rounds as long as I don't hit over $3,000, because $3,000 is the max that they will give you. So there's like 4 or 5 different time periods that you have to be working full time, or at least I think it's 27 hours or something like that. So I was able to get $800. So I'm going to use $200 to stuff these extra challenges that I have. And then I guess every week I'll just keep taking from that $800 to do these challenges. So first we are going to be doing the scratch and save challenge. And I only have 3 more numbers left, so I'm gonna do all 3 of these because I would love to finish this one. So let's do it. Okay, so this one, so you're not gonna hear Broke Best Friend's fish tank in the background because she doesn't use her desk. So she told me yesterday if we could just move it out of where it was. So I did, and so now you won't hear the fish tank that much. I am going to be working on the lighting better in here, so just give me some grace with that. Okay, so the first one is $5. $5. So, seeing as this money is from being a healthcare worker, as some of you might know, I am a LPN, so I'm a licensed practical nurse. That is like 1 step below RN. So basically there are things that an RN can do, and then there are things that an LPN can't do. So some things that I can do, and then there are other things that like I have to call the RN to come do for me because it's out of my scope of practice. So how did I end up becoming an LPN? Okay, so my original dream was to be a teacher. I 100% wanted to be a teacher since I was like in forever. I used to like make my little brother sit, and I would be I'd be on like that we used to have like this little chalkboard, let's see what this number is, in the house, because my mom would always make us like do school stuff. So $10, so far it's $15. And so I would always be like, he would always have to be the student and I would always be the teacher. And so I always knew at a young age that I wanted to be a teacher. So when I graduated high school, I went to college. I ended up going to the community college near my house. I did go away for a little bit, but my parents couldn't afford for me to be away. So I ended up just coming home. And then I, did my 2-year degree. I got my 2-year degree, but then I ended up pregnant with Broke Best Friend. And I quickly realized after 3 years of being in a relationship that I was going to be a single parent. So I was in school while I was pregnant with her to try and finish up my teaching degree. Okay, just $5 more. But then I quickly realized that I was not going to be able to do that. I'm just going to take the 20 instead. I wasn't going to be able to be a teacher and do the student teaching that I would have had to do for a whole entire year, because who was going to watch my child as a single parent? So I decided that I would just work, and I was working with people with disabilities for a long time. And so 2 years after having my daughter, I'm working with people with disabilities. I'm loving my job. It's great. And I applied to nursing school. So in Scratch and Save, I have 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 5, 10, 15. So 115 in this scratch and save. If I counted it right, 20, 40, 60, 80, 80, 80, 90, 100, 5, 10, 15. Okay, so this is perfect. This one is also done. And I'm pretty sure that all of this money is going to end up going towards school. So I'm going to skip this one for right now. And I'm going to do this savings challenge. Okay, so yeah. So I ended up applying for nursing school. I ended up passing the test and getting into LPN school. And when I tried to find like somebody, family members, to pay for someone, which I knew I couldn't really afford at the time, I ended up having to lose my seat as a nursing student because I knew that I couldn't do it because I had no help with watching her. So then, like, I think it was maybe like 2 years later, I was like, okay, I'm in a good place. I'm still working with the mentally disabled and still liking my job, but I have a little bit of a higher position, so I was making a little bit more money, and I felt like, okay, I can do this now. And applied again. Now this is the second time that I applied. I get in again, same school I get into, and I once again don't have childcare for my child, so I can't do it. So this one's a 5. This is by Budget by the Bag, by the way, if you ever want to check her out. So $5. So yeah, not able to do it. I literally had to once again give up on that dream. Because at this point now, I knew that I loved working with the mentally disabled, and I knew that like I loved caring for other people. And so now this is 4 years of me working this same job, and I once again get into LPN school and I cannot go. So now fast forward, my daughter is, I believe she was 6 at the time, and it is 2016. And I am like, I'm gonna do this. I apply. Once again, this is the 3rd time now, I get in. So I get in and I'm like, this is gonna be fine. I'm gonna do this. So my younger brother ends up being able to, oh, that's a big one, $30. My brother ends up being able to step up, and he says, don't worry, I got you. I'll watch Alana while you're going to school and going to work. Like, it's fine. We'll figure it out. So my mom is living out here at the time now, finally, so she's able to pitch in when he can't, and I'm able to go to LPN school. And it was the hardest 11 months of my life. There were many moments where I was like, yeah, I can't do this. This is hard. What am I doing? I used to wake up. So the school was literally like 50-minute drive away from where I lived. So I would wake up every morning at 5:30. We had to be at my brother's house by 6:30. So his kids and my daughter all went to the same school at the time. So I'd have to be at his house by 6:30 in the morning. Drop off Broke Best Friend at 6:30. Drive to school to be there by 8. I would usually get there maybe like a half hour before it started because traffic was so ridiculous that early in the morning. And then by the time I got to school at 8, would do all my tests or whatever, clinicals. By 1 o'clock, I'd be out. I would usually go to extra help after. And then after that, I would have to go straight to work by 3. I would usually work from 3 to 9. Now at this point, I was working as, it was called ILST. So basically I would go to people's houses who had like head injuries and who were working on being able, they lived on their own already, but they were working on like certain skills that I had to do with them throughout the day. And so I would work with them through these skills, and that's how I got paid. Basically, I would write a note after, and that's how I got paid. And so I would do that like 5 hours a day throughout the week. So mind you, I'm only working like 20 hours a week. At this point, my side hustle was doing hair still, like I still do now, and doing custom cakes for like birthday parties, weddings, stuff like that. I realized that I wasn't really good at that. So that was a side hustle that I would do. Hold on, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 10, 15. So in the nail scratch off, we have $115. So yeah, I realized that I was really good at custom cakes. So then I would start doing custom cakes. And so after I would get out of work, I would rush to my brother's house. He would have already fed Brooke, best friend, and I'd pick her up. By the time we got home, it was literally 9 o'clock. So I would talk to her for a little bit and then, you know, read her a book and put her to bed. And by the time I got home, I would then start studying for whatever test was the next day. I would usually study from like 9 to 12 and then go to sleep. And then I would usually wake up again at 4 o'clock to study for an hour before and then do it all over again. So that was literally my life for an entire year. I ended up graduating in August of 2017 by the grace of God and by all the support that I had to be able to even go. And yeah, and so throughout my nursing school, my grandmother was pretty sick, and by the time nursing school ended, she ended up passing away. So she ended up being able to watch me walk across the stage via Facebook, because my mom, of course, is always on like some social media doing a live. So she was able to watch me walk across the stage, and that was a blessing. And then a couple of days later, she ended up passing away. But it was always her dream to become a nurse. So there was only one other nurse in my family, and that was my aunt. And so for me to do it too, like, she was just so happy. And I know she was super proud of me then. So Kiss Me is $10. So let me see what this one is, and then I'll just add it together. And so even throughout nursing school, like, I would always like do her like pill box to make sure she was, you know, all her pills were organized and ready for her to take. And then I was also making sure she was taking them, because it was always her and Brooke, best friend, trying to sneak and figure out how they could not, as my daughter would call her, Nana, could not take her medication. They would always try and sneak. So this one's 20 and 10, so it's $30. So let me see if I have change in here. So yeah, they would always be like sneaking, like conjuring up a plan on how they were not going to take the medication. So I would always have to go over there and then just make sure she actually took it. So in that time, like, I understood like everything that like she was going through at the moment. So yeah, so that's how I ended up becoming a nurse, and I absolutely love being a nurse. I mean, this past couple of years have been pretty tough, but I definitely wouldn't change it, hence why I am now going for my RN. I got into the program, and so I'm super excited about that. So this should all equal up to $100. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 100. So this money is also gonna go to school, because I already have to pay for uniforms, my books. I have to pay $135 for a background check, and then $35 for something else. I don't even know what that is. So far, those are all of the expenses that I have to pay. The uniform is $90. The books are $472 plus tax, and that's just for one nursing class. And then the $135 and the $35. So I have to use this money. And this you can find from Amethyst. I will link her in the description. Okay, so then next we're going to do, I don't know if I can get this stuff in here. So yeah, that's how I ended up becoming a nurse and being a healthcare worker, and I absolutely love my job. I definitely wouldn't change it for anything. Of course, just like any job, it has its good and its bad, but it's definitely worth it in the end. 100% worth it. I'm just seeing how much money we have left. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do like 2 of these. Okay, let me do this one first. And this is $5. Okay, so $5 on this one. And then let me do this one over here. $14. So that's $19. I think I'm gonna have to stop. I don't want to stop, but I'm gonna have to stop. And hence why I'm doing this while my broke best friend is in school, because otherwise she would be barging in trying to tell me what to do. Okay, so 5 and 14 is 19. We're just gonna put in 20 because I don't have change, and I doubt there's change in here. So altogether for Larry 2KO, we have $20, $40, and $60. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to jump to this one, and then we're gonna scratch one off and then see what it is. You know, this one is the 500 one, so the numbers are higher. So that's why I'm like, okay, so this one's 25. 25. 25. So I'm gonna stop this one at 25. Yes, for once I'm gonna stop. Then, let's see how much we have now. Okay, 50, 70, 90, 110, 115, 16, 17, 18, 19, 120. Okay, if I counted that right, because you guys know I can't count 50s and there was no 10s for me to work with. So, okay, so next I am going to go to Golden Girl Budgets, and I bought these on her site. So we are going to do this. Let's see if there's change in here. There's only a 20. So I'm just gonna do a 10. I'm gonna do the 10. I'm gonna color in this 10. And yeah, as I said, all of these will definitely be going towards school because, well, I need all the money that I can get. And since all my overtime money is going towards Broke Best Friend, I gotta figure this stuff out somehow. Okay, and then this one, let's see. I'll do 10 in this one too. I will do I want to do 2 5s? I'll do 2 5s. So I'm gonna do this one. And this one is also from Golden Girl Budgets. I ended up buying 2 from her, but then my lovely broke best friend was like, oh, I want one. So she ended up taking the other one. Each one that I bought has 3 different mini challenges in them. So this one came with the 3, and then broke best friend has her 3. Did I put? It should be 15 in here. Oh, because I only colored in 1. Sorry, I got confused. I confused myself. Okay, so let me color in this one. And then I will have given $10. Is this gonna be too close? No. Well, kinda. It is. Okay. And now this one has $20. Okay. And then this one, I believe it's 5 for each one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 23. Yeah. So I'm going to color the moon. And this one. So that's $10. So this one has 5, 10, 15. So in this video, I would like to give away my Gumball scratch and save. And so, let me think of a question. Did I do this one? Yes. Yeah, I definitely want to give away the Gumball scratch and save. So the question is your favorite place that you have visited. So for me, it was the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. That was the first time I've ever been out of the country, and it was so surreal for me to like be there, and it was absolutely gorgeous, like stunning. Okay, stunning. I had saved for like 8 months for that trip, and it was 100% worth it. It was worth every cent that I spent. It was just worth it, and that was probably by far one of my favorite places that I have ever been to. So that is one of the questions, and I will ask one more. But first, we're gonna do this 80s and 90s challenge. So I am an 85 baby. So I obviously remember like some things, but I was super young, so the 80s not so much, but the 90s, I remember all of that. So we are going to be doing this challenge. I'm going to put up exactly who is doing this challenge. There are, I think, 2 or 3 people that are doing it, and I recently just interacted with them, so I'm sorry that I can't remember the name right now, but I'm gonna put it up on the screen and then in the description box so that you can definitely check them out and buy it, because this is so awesome. So I'm gonna be doing the 90s challenge, and look, it has a CD player, the first PlayStation hair scrunchies. Oh my god, I remember doing these all the time. Nokia, remember these big old smiley faces? Tamagotchi. These things are literally my childhood. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to do is, I'm gonna do 20 for this one and 20 for the next. So I remember having a Nokia and playing that game Snake all the time. Did you guys play that? Oh my god, I loved that game. My Snake would be so long and ridiculous. Oh my god, that was my favorite game. I could play that forever. Now I wish they still had that, because I would definitely be playing it. Okay, so I'm gonna do $20. So I'm gonna do the 15, the 4, and this one to equal $20. So definitely check them out. I will have the link in the description so that you could check out their Etsy shop. And yeah, this is another one that I'm adding to the list of 7,000 savings challenges that I need to do. Okay, and then this one is the 80s. Like I said, I was an 80s baby, so I remember the Game Boy. I'm pretty sure I still have it. I remember these where you would like click it and see different pictures. Roller skating. When I tell you that all of my 90s parties when I was young, I think for 3 years straight I had a roller skating party, and it was the best time. What kid didn't have one of these jackets? Like, let's be honest. Who didn't? Because I'm sure we all did. There are pictures of me in this jacket somewhere. And I remember both of these. I ended up getting one of these for I think it was like my 10th birthday, so it was in the 90s, so it was a little bit more advanced than this one, but still same premise. And Who remembers sitting next to the radio waiting for their favorite song to come on with a blank one of these inside of here to record your favorite song and be hyped that you finally got it? That was me. Okay, enough of memory lane here. Okay, I'm going to do, it's gonna be $20. So I think I'm just gonna do the 15 and the 6. So the 15, oh, that was wrong, the 14 and the 6. And the 14, these big chunky behind headphones and the cassette tape. Yes. And so that is $20. Okay, last question is favorite dessert. Mine is and will always be a brownie sundae. I will never turn down a brownie sundae. So what is your favorite dessert? So thank you so much for watching me do my extra cash stuffing of some of my savings challenges. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember that in order to enter the giveaway, in order to win the Gumball scratch and save, you need to be at least 18 years or older, a public subscriber, and you also need to be, I will do it out of the US. So if you're out of the US, I will still do it. Okay, so just remember, public subscriber, over the age of 18, or with your parents' permission. And I'm so excited because I've never given away anything of like mine like this, so I'm excited. And remember to live your best life. Remember, even if you can only save $1 or a couple of dollars a week, you are saving something, and be proud of that. Thank you so much for listening to my story time. Live your best life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.